Our brains are not capable of overcoming this technology. It's so easy to weaponize a human being. Your brain versus a $1 trillion computer, you're going to lose. If you think of the way that social media manipulates our brain, it falsifies a tribal agreement and makes us say A.
Right.
So we're willing to ignore everything that we see because we're seeing a tribe say that something else is happening.
Okay.
So it'll override our brain. If you just, one thing that matters a lot is our brains are not capable of overcoming this technology. We don't have a firewall. And technology has outpaced our brain's ability to adapt to it. So I can falsify a tribe around you that says, oh, this is all happening right now. Dr. Phil calls this the tyranny of the fringe, where this fringe pretends to be a group of 1 million people when it's just a small group that gets over a lot of attention. It's really inflated, so it looks like it's more popular than it actually is. And if your identity is already there, then that automatically makes sense, and we'll ignore just basic facts. And it's not about the right or the left. It's both of those sides have been doing this stuff for a long time. But if I can get you to think that most of your tribal members agree to X, then most people, like 90% of people, will say, okay, X is true.
Well, especially with social media, right? Because obviously it'd be about something that's a little bit more complex than the size of a line, but you're so easily manipulated because it's not really just people that are responding. It's a lot of bots.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that more and more lately. I was watching this video today and somebody pointed out after the video, look how many bots have retweeted this video. And it was astounding. So it's like, oh, there's a narrative that someone's trying to push because of this selectively edited video.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. But this is the problem, not just with bots and social media influence, but also with echo chambers, right? Echo chambers that people create where they get a bunch of people that only agree with them and everybody disagrees with them. Instead of looking at them, and you see that on that show all the time, instead of looking at someone else's perspective and going, okay, so tell me how you came to this conclusion. Like, why do you think this?
Yeah.
And like letting them fully express. Instead, it's like, everything is interrupty, everything is shouty. I disagree with everything you have said. And the audience claps, and they're going to stand up for this or for that. Or instead of having an actual conversation about opinions and ideas and how you formulate them and how your mind works and how you think about things and why you think about things. Instead of that, it's just ideological battles every day.
Exactly. And it's identity instead of ideas.
Yes.
Is what it is.
Yeah, it's tribal. It's it's a bunch of people that are afraid to be alone and are afraid to be on the outside. And so whatever the group agrees to, they find some sort of mental gymnastics they can apply to these ideas to make them relevant.
And it will reverse rationalize a lot of those decisions.
Yeah.
So they're emotionally made and logically rationalized in our head, but we think that it's a logical decision. It's so easy to weaponize a human being, from a Manchurian candidate to getting someone to like something on Twitter because it makes them feel morally or intellectually superior because they shared it.
There's a lot of value in what you're teaching and what you're explaining to people. And I think if more people understand how psychological manipulation is used, they'll be less vulnerable to it.
The first things that we teach people is called the firewall illusion. So like if you went to Best Buy today and like picked up a laptop and I was like, Joe, you should get the antiviral or whatever software there. And you're like, no, I don't believe in viruses. I'm immune to it. That's a problem. So if you believe you can't be persuaded by these things, if you believe that social media can't persuade me.
Doesn't work on me, bro.
You are the suggestible person.
Yeah.
Like your brain versus a $1 trillion computer, you're going to lose. I'm going to lose. And I can spot all of the things and I'm still going to lose.
Social media obviously is having some sort of psychological manipulation on people.
Yeah.
What do you think the biggest impact it's having on people, other than the theft of your time?
Tribal confusion. So I get to automatically, I don't have to hack your brain. I don't have to convince you of anything. All I have to do is tell you a whole shitload of people believe this one thing. And all that is, it may not get you to keel over right away, but it gets you to say, wow, It's starting to become a pretty popular idea. I'm going to start to might start entertaining that. So technology has outpaced our brain's ability to adapt, period. We cannot adapt. Our brains haven't changed in 200,000 years. If I can trick the mammal part of your brain that doesn't even speak English, so all I have to do is get the human part of your brain to translate what I'm seeing, what you're seeing on the phone, into an image in your mammalian brain and think that it's brand new, something weird that haven't seen before. Does that sound familiar on social media?
Sure.
Weird, unusual.
Oh, yeah.
Novelty generates focus. Then there's an authority because you're thinking this thing has 97,000 likes in the last hour or whatever. Authority. Tribe is there. It's built into the likes.
And then a lot of bots in the comments that agree with it. And
Yeah.
chime in and
Can't believe he's
positive.
doing this. What a narcissist. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I've put a leash around your mammalian brain. And people don't realize how fast it happens, how fast that stuff can happen. What do you think, like, if I'm having you on social media for 16 hours a day, which is like, I think 11 hours is like a common number for people, for us kids especially. If I've got you for 16 hours with advanced algorithms and technology designed to manipulate you specifically, and in 1972 they could talk someone into murder in 45 minutes. If you just imagine what's possible.
And know that governments are utilizing that. It's not just people's opinions, and it's not just groups of people that are trying to convince other people to think the way they think. It's actual governments that are involved in trying to manipulate narratives.
Yeah. If you're thinking it's a left and a right issue, that's also, you may be a victim.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's not. This us versus them shit is nonsense. Most people aren't even left or right. Most people just have a conglomeration of opinions that they've sort of accepted as their own.
When it comes to all these beliefs formation, I'll tell you the formula for hypnosis. I don't think anybody's ever said this. I've never said it out loud, not even in my training. It's enhanced level of focus and then micro compliances. So like if I'm, have you seen the street performers that would hypnotize somebody in a bar or like, like to do something silly, or maybe they're helping them. So the first step is, like if I'm hypnotizing you and it's in a social setting, the first couple of steps are, all right, come over here, now stand to the left, now move your legs just a little bit further, now spread them further apart so you have some balance. All right, now just make sure you have some range of motion. Go ahead and put your arms out. None of those are meaningful.
Right.
They're all meaningless. All I'm doing is get you to comply, 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 comply. And that's just the first like 30 seconds. I've got you to comply with me 15 times. We haven't even started the hypnosis thing yet. And so it's just, you're not aware that you're becoming compliant. You just think I'm going through some motions. But
it's just hijacking the mammal brain.
Yeah. So it's compliance, compliance, compliance. And then it's just like, go ahead and stay over there. I want you to look at that light up there. I want you to just focus on that light up there and just let everything go. So it's just a lot of focus, right? And they'll say something like, I can already tell. I've been doing this for 20 years. You're going to be really good at this, and everything's going to be just fine. You'll be able to hear my voice the whole time. It's not a coma. You'll be able to stand and maintain perfect balance. You'll be completely okay. Authority.
Yeah.
And no matter what happens, you're going to walk out of this a better person. Everybody's going to respect you more. And I'll frame it as like us hypnotists call the ability to go into hypnosis unconscious intelligence. But I'll only say that if you're an intelligence person. So if you're a significance-driven person, I'll say we call this unconscious power, this ability to go into hypnosis. So I'll make it about your identity right away.
Yeah.
And then there's an increase in dissociation. Like there's one part of you doing this, one part of you doing that. So that's like the induction where they're saying, oh, all the way down, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you look at social media, the final step of hypnosis is fractionation. A slightly out of trance, back in. And every time you go back down into that trance, you go deeper. If you put an EEG on someone's head, this fractionation process increases the amount of theta waves that are going on in your brain, which is the theta waves of hypnosis. So from the ages of 1 to 8, give or take, your brain is in theta like 80% of the day. That's why we learn so fast and we can do all that stuff. And if you go back the next time, for anybody watching this, the next time you start scrolling through social media, I want you to watch how it's going to peak a positive experience for 2 or 3 videos in a row, and it's going to start going downhill. And it's going to go back up, and it's going to go downhill. And every ad that you see, the algorithm doesn't do this on purpose. The algorithm does it because it's effective. Every time you see an ad, it's going to be at one of those down troughs. They're not going to spike you up and have you feel good like with that guy putting on the color glasses that was colorblind and he can see and he's crying and all that. They're not going to show you an ad after that. They'll show you an ad at the bottom. It's every time. And I don't think that's programmed into the algorithm. I think the algorithm adapted because that is the effective way to do it.